much come to closure. And Jane keeps us right on that pathway. But it is appropriate at this time, because there's so few items left, to have the elementary school building committee, which has really assumed responsibility for the Bachelor School, to kind of give a quick little overview, and then a motion to, on behalf of the school committee, to take back under school committee control the Bachelor School, and to have that as part of the record.
So, Dr. Jordan asked me to just give a brief overview of the project. I went back over some old notes and agendas, and just to give a timeline for the Batchelder project, the firm of Tappe Associates was hired in the spring of 2003 to develop schematic designs. In the fall of 2003, the project was approved at town meeting and at the subsequent override vote. If I get any of these dates wrong, feel free to correct me. Through the winter into the spring 2003 to 2004, the designs were completed. And then we went out to bid in the summer of 2004, at which time GVW of East Boston was selected for the low bid. The students, the entire Batchelder School, was relocated to the Central School in Stoneham for the 2004, 2005, and 2005-2006 school years, which as a parent I have to say went tremendously well. Thank you to the staff and Sean and everyone. It went much better than anyone anticipated. That's my little aside. The demolition began in the fall of 2004, and construction continued at a very rapid pace until subsequent completion at the end of August 2006, beginning of end of August, beginning of September, so that the school was ready to open in September of 2006. The scope of the project, the former Batchelder School was approximately 40,000 square feet. The new batch is 75,000 square feet, 55,000 square feet of new construction, and 20,000 square feet of the old batch, which has been completely renovated. The budget for the entire project was $18,515,000, which we managed to scrape under. So we were very satisfied with the architect, with the builder. We had great cooperation from other town boards. The HDC we had to work with very closely for approval on all of the exterior designs. Wayne Hardacre, Sean were great assets and helped us all through. And currently we're going through the audit process with MSBA in order to get additional reimbursement. We got a $5 million payment earlier this fall, and Joe Tassoni at the town accountant's office is doing a tremendous amount of work to enter every single invoice that was ever paid over the 2003 to 2007, actually 2008 period. So we're still in the process of getting that completed, and we're hoping for additional funds. We don't know what the reimbursement rate will be at this point. And I should also thank Representative Brad Jones for all the work that he did to secure that reimbursement. And at this point, I guess we are ready to hand it back over to the school department.
Anything to add?
No, I think the town should be very proud. I think the efforts of the school building committee, Batchelder School families, and the entire community. It's just sits well. It was a lot of work to get there. Now to sit back and kind of reflect upon it. It was an amazing experience for me personally and professionally, and I'm very, very satisfied with the product.
I have to say and I say this mainly for the public's benefit to understand what really happened here, is that one, we did a renovation plus an addition in an historic district, which adds some conditions to it, and it still came in at around $18.5 million. I just read about a week and a half ago that the town of Belmont is looking to build an elementary school for fewer students than the batch, and the price tag is like $53 million. And I just wonder, I say costs can't have tripled in 3 or 4 years. And I say that because I want the public to appreciate what the building committee and the administration and the architect and everybody else involved was able to do within, yes, $18.5 million is a lot of money, but it's a tiny budget for a new school. And I just think it's important that the town understand that, what we accomplished. And also able to get at least $5 million in reimbursement and hopefully another $3, $4, $5 million, depending on what the percentage is that we're able to get. The questions I had were, there are a couple projects I know underway right now that you're funding from some of the funds that were left over, the security and the irrigation. Is there anything else? We had a question last meeting about the elevator situation, and I was wondering if there's any issues with that right now, or if we're pretty much okay with the elevator.
The elevator has been no problem. I believe Delta Beckwith, after the initial installation, when we had the difficulty, extended their warranty period for 6 to 12 months. And since then, I think we've entered a service contract with a different company. So we haven't had any issues.
Any other comments, questions?
How much under budget?
That's a good question.
Several $1,000s.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think we should get Mr. Cassell a ride-on tractor for the cornfield with any change.
For the 100 square feet of
Oh,
cornfield.
I saw him
Yes.
digging rocks out weeks ago. You did a great job on, a beautiful building on a limited parcel, and it looks beautiful in the center of town. A little disruption,
It all turned out well.
it did.
I mean, the building also looks fantastic on the inside
Correct.
as well. I remember the tour, and the most striking differences would be the gym, which is now the library, I believe, and they did something in there, because I remember the gym being very dark and dank, and it had that, pit in the corner, and the library is somehow full of light, and it's beautiful and airy and wonderful, and really, I believe the committee is to be commended for its efforts that went on and on over many years, not just the 2 years of the actual building and renovation. And it's beautiful, and you guys are definitely to be congratulated. And thank you.
It was 18 years ago, my daughter went to kindergarten at the bachelor school, and I had never been in the building before, but I'd been in the other elementary school buildings in town, and I was shocked. And I was committed at that point to doing something with school buildings. I just couldn't believe that one school building in town was in the shape that building was in. And that was that long ago. And I remember even Jerry, who's not here tonight, but he was on the original Space Study Committee back in '93. And he had kids in school, but he had never been in the batch, beyond the gym. And he was surprised too. And so I know he's enjoyed being part of that committee because of his early commitment to doing something with that building as well. So it's been a long time coming. But it just shows the determination when we set our sights on something worthwhile. So what we started in those buildings, we've started in these buildings, and we will continue until every child in North Reading is in an updated school building. It doesn't have to be what they have in Belmont or in Newton, but it has to be a standard that North Reading sets, and just make sure that every kid has that opportunity. So thank you.
Any other comments? Cliff?
My two granddaughters go to school there, and we appreciate the hard work and the good work and the nice product that came from. And as a taxpayer, I thank you very much for keeping the price.
Dr. Trode, any comments before we take a vote?
Again, I just wanted to thank not only Jane, and, who has taken the lead, but everyone on the committee and the many, many people who worked on the elementary school building project. Just have done a terrific job, and they kept at it because they believed that this was the right thing to do, and so here we are at this point, 18 years after. I know when I first came here in '94, this was a discussion about the need for additional space. And it's really satisfying to know that after all of these years, our 3 elementary schools, the Little School and the Hood School and now the Batch, are in the position where we had projected them to be in terms of enrollment. The Batchelder now is fully occupied at this point in terms of 4 classrooms per grade, and it's exactly where we said it would be, and to know that it's come under budget. We also got an award along the way from the Mass Historic, I guess, Preservation Society.
Mass Historic
Commission. And that was just, a very nice recognition for the community as well. So, but I think it shows that when you can pull together individuals within a community who are committed to getting providing quality for students in education, this is a great testimony to that. So thank you all.
I guess the last thing I'll say before we take a vote is to remind the residents that when Catherine Craven, the head of the MSBA, and Tim Cahill, the treasurer, were here to present us the $5 million, they both went out of their way several times to note the way that we came in under budget and at such a low budget for a great facility. And they talked about using North Reading as a model throughout the state when with school building and renovation projects. So again, I think that's just credit to everybody involved, and I want to add my thanks. So at this time, I need a motion to transfer the Batchelder School from the Elementary School Building Committee to the School Committee. So moved by Mr. Bowers, a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bowers, second by Ms. Davis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.
Such a
Thanks.
quick vote. Such a quick vote.
Quick vote for 18 years of work. Okay. Before we get to the opening of schools, I believe we have Mr. Fauché and Pam Bowden here for the middle school health curriculum discussion and approval.
Guess we can just jump in. Hopefully you had a chance to take a look at the program that comes in 3 modules. It's the Life Skills program, or technically called Life Skills Training. We're here just to ask for your approval to use that as the basis of the new health program going forward this year. Our goal is to start with that and then spend the year cross-referencing it with the frameworks to ensure that we're meeting all of the goals that we're supposed to. Primary focus of this program is substance abuse prevention. It also has anti-bullying and violence prevention in it as well. The additional piece, which will be taken care of through the Jump Up and Go grant that we've been part of for the past couple of years, is the nutrition component. So those 2 things combined should do us well to get us through this first year. And the goal is to treat all grade levels the same, because none of the students have had any exposure to a formal health curriculum. So the charge to the new health teacher going forward is to use this, if it's so approved, use this as the basis for the course, which provides a scope and sequence, and deliver this to the 3 grade levels, and then we'll make a more adjusted curriculum. So obviously the 6th grade students this year will have to then move into the 7th grade program and the 8th grade program, which does have fewer modules in it. So we'll need to reinforce that with some nutrition pieces. And I do think if we look going forward, we're going to have to provide a little bit more on the anti-bullying piece, because I think that's one place where we can provide an extension. And I think we will use the Health Advisory Committee as well as the PE and Health Curriculum Council as the vehicles for getting some of this done.
Ditto.
You okay with that? Okay.
No, absolutely. We're very enthusiastic about the opportunity to introduce health into the middle school. Currently, the health component is with PE, with the PE classes. So every 3 days, the students will have a health class as part of their PE. So it's a 6-day rotation, 3 days of PE health, 3 days of art and music. So health component will be one of the 3 days that they're actually